Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Friday, February 24, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want to access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. New York Knicks vs Washington Wizards. With the final 24 games left to go for both the Knicks and Wizards, this is a key game when it comes to the Eastern Conference playoff race. Washington is 4 games back of the Knicks for the 6th seed, which is coveted because it allows teams to avoid the play-in tournament. The Washington Wizards come out of the All-Star break on a strong note after they notched a big 114-106 road win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. They have won 10 of their last 14 games and look primed to get in the dance. The Knicks are playing well, but after Kuzma shot 6 for 21 and Porzingis could not make a shot last game, both will bounce back at home. They will not need to rely on Corey Kispert as much, and he will sit back in his role. The Wizards have covered the spread in 4 of 5. Take Washington minus 2.5 points. The Knicks are 27th in pace entering this key Eastern Conference showdown with the Wizards. Both clubs are neck and neck in the standings, and these games will play a big role down the stretch with respect to tiebreakers. They are each in the middle of the pack defensively, but I expect this to be a low-scoring game considering the magnitude and familiarity with one another. The total number has gone under in 4 of 6 for Washington and 12 of their last 17 against the Knicks. The total is set a bit higher than you would expect, considering neither team has averaged more than 111 points per game in their last 10. Take the under here with confidence in a tightly played game. Cleveland Cavaliers vs Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta had lofty expectations this season after making the playoffs last year and acquiring Dejounte Murray in a trade with the San Antonio Spurs before the season. But it has not worked out smoothly by any stretch, and they lost 4 of 6 games before the All-Star break and are only 1 game ahead of 10th place Toronto in the Eastern Conference standings. They are far better than their record indicates, and the firing of Nat McMillan will create a sense of urgency for them, giving notice that their jobs may be in jeopardy as well if they do not produce on the floor. I believe they come out on top here facing a Cavaliers team on the second leg of a back-to-back after facing one of the best teams in the NBA Thursday. Atlanta will have some new juice with a new coach and will get the job done at home in their first game, crawling back to the .500 mark. Take Atlanta money line. The Cavaliers are in action Thursday night in their first action since the All-Star break, a home matchup against the West-leading Denver Nuggets. They are last in the NBA with respect to pace of play, and considering they are on the second leg of a back-to-back, may opt to sit either Darius Garland or Donovan Mitchell. Although this is the second game back, neither may sit, but it remains to be seen what coach J.B. Bickerstaff opts to do. This is an important game for Atlanta, and they need to set the tone if they want to make the postseason. I expect them to crank up the pace here and get a potentially fatigued Cleveland team on the move. Take the over here with confidence. Miami Heat vs Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee and Miami are both dealing with some key injuries, but I do like the Bucks to extend their win streak here and take the -1 spread. The Bucks are getting Middleton and Crowder back, which is big for their defense as well as their offense, while even if Antetokounmpo doesn't play, we have seen Milwaukee's offense roll without their star player. Meanwhile, the Bucks defense should have a ton of success against this Heat offense which has struggled this season. The length of Milwaukee will pose some big problems for Miami's offense, which is why I like the Bucks to cover the spread here. Take Milwaukee to cover. I also like the under in this one, as both teams' defenses should be the focal point of this game, especially with rust likely playing a factor early on with some missed shots. The Heat are 32-27 in hitting the under this season, while Milwaukee is 30-28. Meanwhile, Miami is playing at a pace of 98.8, which ranks 28th, while their offensive efficiency ranks 26th, but their defensive efficiency ranks 4th. The Bucks, meanwhile, play at a pace of 102.4, which ranks 11th, while their defensive efficiency ranks 3rd, which is why I like the under. Finally, in Miami's last 5 games, the games are averaging 214 ppg, while Milwaukee's last 5 games are averaging 229.8 ppg, but that includes a 131-125 OT win. Take the under. Charlotte Hornets vs Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota is missing Towns as their offense is not the same, but I do like the Timberwolves to win the game and cover the -8 spread. In Charlotte's last 5 losses, the average margin of defeat is 10.2 points, as when the Hornets lose it usually is by a blowout. Meanwhile, as a road underdog, the Hornets are 12-14-2 against the spread. Although Minnesota has not been good as the home favorite this season, but the T-Wolves match up well against Charlotte. The Hornets will have a hard time defending Gobert down low, who should be able to get a ton of rebounds and keep possessions going and allow Minnesota to really take over this game and cover the spread. Take Minnesota -8 points. I also like the over in this one as both offenses can score while the defenses have struggled this season. This season, Charlotte is 29-31 in hitting the over, but as a road underdog, the over is 18-10. Minnesota, meanwhile, is 30-31 in hitting the over, but is 10-9 in hitting the over as a home favorite. The T-Wolves will also pick up the pace as Minnesota plays at a pace of 103.7, which ranks 5th, while the Hornets play at a pace of 103.7, which is also tied for 5th, while their defensive efficiency ranks 24th. Finally, in Charlotte's last 5 games, the games are averaging 240.2 ppg, while Minnesota's last 5 games are averaging 243.8 ppg. Take the over. Oklahoma City Thunder vs Phoenix Suns. The Thunder were playing well leading up to the All-Star break, but if anything that extended time benefited the ailing Suns. Phoenix will also have, fresh on their mind, was their embarrassing performance the last time they faced the Thunder. Phoenix is one of the best assisting teams in the league, and the Thunder have often been out of place defensively and sent teams to the line at one of the highest rates in the NBA. The Suns have also been very strong on the offensive glass, and that's been a big hole in the defense of OKC, allowing second chance points. The Suns will show out on their home floor. Take Phoenix -8 points. The Thunder like to push the pace as they top 3 in possessions per game. Their transition offense and ability to force steals has been a key contributor to their pace. They'll be on the road against a Suns team that commands ball control and wants to slow it down, sitting bottom 10 in pace. Phoenix is one of the best teams in the league in terms of opponent shot attempts per game, and the Thunder sit top 10 in overall field goal percentage. The play is the under, which is 6-2 in the last 8 when the Suns have had at least 3 days of rest. Take under 232.5 points. Golden State Warriors vs Houston Rockets. Golden State will pick up a victory at home on Friday when hosting Houston, but the Rockets will play well enough to cover the number. Golden State has failed to cover the number in 7 of its last 10 at home and in 6 of its last 8 overall. Golden State will be playing the second half of a back-to-back and is also playing without its leading scorer Stephen Curry and therefore will fail to cover. Our team pick is Houston Rockets plus 10 points. Jalen Green is leading Houston in scoring with an average of 21.8 points per game, while the leading rebounder is Alperen Sengun with an average of 8.8 rebounds per game. Kevin Porter is the second leading scorer and the leader in assists, but is out injured, therefore the active leader in assists is Green, with an average of 3.6 assists per game. Houston is scoring an average of 109.8 points per game. Golden State will complete a back-to-back on Friday when hosting Houston after playing on the road Thursday night against the Los Angeles Lakers. Golden State is 29-29 and 4th in the Pacific Division, 3.5 games behind the first-place Sacramento Kings. Golden State was defeated by the Clippers 134-124 in their final game prior to the All-Star game break. Golden State has lost 3 of the last 4. With Stephen Curry out injured, the leading scorer for Golden State is Klay Thompson, with an average of 21.4 points per game, while Jordan Poole is second, with an average of 20.9 points per game. Kevin Looney is the leading rebounder with an average of 8.8 rebounds per game, and Draymond Green is the leader in assists, with an average of 6.9 assists per game. Golden State is scoring an average of 118.6 points per game. Our total pick is over the total. Brooklyn Nets vs Chicago Bulls. The Bulls are looking to make a push towards the playoffs as they are 2.5 games out of the play-in games. With Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, this team is not in rebuilding stage. They will get more and more aggressive and will go for wins. This will be true on Friday night as the Nets are in a weird rebuilding stage after trading stars Irving and Durant. The culture and style of basketball will have certainly changed, and the team could take many games to find their footing. This game has an easy Chicago win all over it due to the home crowd and urgency to get closer to the playoffs. Take the Bulls to cover. The Bulls do not score the ball at a high clip as they shoot late into shot clocks often. This will be very true on Friday night as they try to work around the Nets' defense. If Chicago is going to win, this game will be played in a low-scoring affair. The under is 5-0 in the Nets' last 5 versus a team with a losing straight-up record. The under is 9-1 in the last 10 meetings between these two teams. Take the under 224.5 points on Friday. Sacramento Kings vs Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers got a lot better by adding an offensive weapon with Russell Westbrook pushing the floor and now having a group of Kawhi Leonard, Paul George and Eric Gordon now, they should be able to do a lot better on the offensive side of the floor. The Clippers are still a very good defensive team and should make things a lot better for them, and this will be an interesting fit. Looking at the defenses lately, there is a bit of a difference as Sacramento is allowing 123.6 points in their previous 5 games, while Los Angeles is giving up 115 points in their last 4 games. All in all, go with the Los Angeles Clippers laying 6.5 points at home here. With the fresh legs of the Los Angeles Clippers coming off the All-Star break, they should be able to push the floor and be a threat offensively. These teams scored incredibly well to end the first half of the season, with the Kings averaging 125.2 points in their previous 5 games, while the Clippers were scoring 125 points in their last 2 games. These teams throughout the season have been 2 of the better 3-point shooting teams percentage-wise, as Sacramento ranks 9th in the NBA with a 36.5 team 3-point percentage, while Los Angeles is 6th with a 37.8 percentage from beyond the arc. The defensive side of the Clippers might take some getting used to with all of the moves they made around the trade deadline, as they have to acclimate a few rotational players and positioning may be off, so go with the over in this game.